Hello everybody, welcome to English 2, Unit 12. This will be the final unit of the lecture series for English 2. Okay. Today's lesson we'll be looking at the present perfect progressive tense. This will be an extension of what we studied last week. So last week we were looking at the present perfect tense. Okay, so this is slightly similar, and maybe it might be a bit confusing to distinguish. Okay, but we will have lots of practice to use the language, and I think we will see by the end of the lesson when we will use this language and what purposes we will use it for. Okay, let's begin. We're going to start with some vocabulary that you might need to use with our starter activity on page 92. Okay. Now, once again, we have a matching exercise. You are going to take the words at the top here, and you're going to match them with the pictures. Okay. So you have 8 pictures and 8 phrases. Okay. Now the first one is done for you. In this one, you've been given a foreign language, so you can see you can take this phrase. And we know she's talking about or thinking about foreign languages. Okay. And what we've also done is we've preceded that match with a word. Okay. In this case, the word is practice. Okay, now we're using American English, so we're going to spell it with the letter C. Okay, and you're going to, after you match these phrases or words with these pictures, you're going to precede them with one of the following 4 verbs. Okay, just to see how smart you are. Okay. So we know this picture is, we're talking about a foreign language, so we've correctly matched this. Now, do you make a foreign language? Do you take it? Do you receive it? Do you collect it? Okay. Do you take many different foreign languages? Or do you practice it? Okay. So the answer is practice. You practice a foreign language. You use the language. You repeat phrases. You try to construct sentences. Okay. There might be many different things that you practice. Okay. You might practice a sport. You might practice the piano. Okay. So those are things that you would do over and over again. Okay. All right, could be a bit challenging, but do your best. Okay, so again, match each of these phrases with each of these pictures, or one of these pictures, and then precede it with the correct verb. Okay? If you don't know, that's fine. We're going to review it, and after you do your best, we'll see how well you've done. So pause the track, and then we will resume when you are finished. All right, how did you do? Okay. Now, probably a lot of these were easy to figure out. I think you know photos, obviously match with the picture of a camera. You might know the word pottery, you know lessons. You're probably familiar with the game of chess. Okay, so a lot of these matches should be pretty easy. Let's see how you did with these. Okay. Now, as for the preceding words, the preceding verbs, let's take a look at the verb collect. Now, as the instructions said, there are 2 examples of each verb. Okay, so with this one down here, coins, we're going to collect coins. Okay, and that's correct. Collect is correct. All right. Now we know the verb is collect because we see many coins. And a person who collects coins or collects stamps or collects many things for a hobby, they take different pieces or examples and they hold on to them for a long time. Okay, maybe they keep them or categorize them. So another example is this one down here. If you collect coins, then you can collect action figures. So you have many different examples and you find one, you take them, and you keep them. Okay. Let's look at the verb make. Okay. That's correct too. So the verb make are things that you create. Okay. Now I thought maybe the answer for pottery lessons might be make, but you make pottery. Okay? In the picture, you see somebody who is making pottery. Okay. But you don't make pottery lessons. Okay. You make a thing. So in this answer, I think you make a sweater. Right? You make a sweater. You create a sweater. Or in this case, you knit a sweater. And here, you make special dinners. Okay, you can't really collect dinners. Okay, you can't take dinners. I suppose you could take them if they're offered to you. Okay, but again, you're creating a meal. The food is there. You're presenting it different. Okay, same thing here. The yarn is there, but you're making the sweater. Just notice she's also wearing a sweater. Good. Okay. Now, let's look at the verb practice. We saw this here with practicing a foreign language. She appears to be practicing many languages. The answer for practice the other action or object that takes the verb practice would be chess. Okay, so like I said, you might practice a sport. Okay, you might also practice an activity. Okay, something that involves some movement. So you're practicing chess. You're practicing different moves, different strategies. Okay. Looks like I got that one wrong. Okay. Let's see if I got the other ones right. Okay. If practice chess is wrong, then this should also. And the other two should be wrong. I thought take lessons. Okay, so you might take English lessons. You might take golf lessons. This person is taking pottery lessons. Okay, so they're not receiving it. I guess they're receiving the education, but they're not getting it as a physical object. It's a course. You might take a course. Maybe as a student, you are also taking many courses, many classes, many lessons. So you take lessons. You also take photos, okay? You are just pressing a button for these, and you receive an image on your camera. Okay, good. So all of these are correct. So I'm not sure why practice is wrong. Did we use British spelling? No. It's not sure check the answer. Practice chess. Okay, so sometimes there's a glitch in the ebook, but still I think it's the best way to practice English on your own. Okay, so it's a good place to practice English even if the ebook tells me I'm wrong. Okay, so I got that right, but I get a 7 out of 8 on that. Okay, so this is some vocabulary we'll be looking at, and probably you'll see these verbs used very often: make, take, collect, practice, among other verbs. Okay, because we're going to be talking about actions that are continuing to happen after they started in the past. let's take a look at some language in use, or at least recited. We're going to go down to the bottom of page 92. Actually, we're not. We're going to close our books. So close your books. We're going to listen to the dialogue, okay, as we do every week. Okay, so every week we listen to the dialogue first, and then we are going to look at some comprehension questions. Good. In this dialogue, you're going to hear two people, a man and a woman. Here's your first of 3 listenings.
Dialogue Module 12. I've been working hard. Listen to the dialogue, then read it with a partner.
I saw you in the speech contest.
What did you think?
You were incredible. Have you been practicing?
Yes, I've been taking a public speaking class in the evening.
How long have you been taking the class?
For about 3 months.
You've improved a lot.
Thanks. That's nice to hear. I've been working hard since the class started.
It shows. I'm impressed.
All right. Did you get that? We had a man and a woman talking. What were they talking about? Okay. Do you remember any of the details? Okay, well, as long as you've got the basic idea. They were talking about something the man did, okay? And they're talking about how long he did it or has done it, okay? Let's listen again. I'm going to put some questions on the board here, or on the screen, okay? 4 questions, as usual. Okay, each of these will be talking about the man. Number 1, what contest was the man in? Okay, so the woman mentioned a contest. What kind of contest was it? Okay, what did he participate? He took part in a contest. What was it? Number 2, what class has the man been taking? Okay, so not only was he in a contest, okay, he has been taking, a class. Okay, so we can see by the ing, it's something that's going on right now. Okay. Number 3, how long has he been taking it? How long has he been taking the class? Okay, so the class that we mentioned in number 2. So we're looking for a period of time. And number 4, has the man improved? Okay, so you might remember some of these answers from the dialogue. We're going to play the track twice, listen, and listen for the answers. All right, here's your second of 3 listenings.
Dialogue Module 12. I've been working hard. Listen to the dialogue, then read it with a partner.
I saw you in the speech contest.
What did you think?
You were incredible. Have you been practicing?
Yes, I've been taking a public speaking class in the evening.
How long have you been taking the class?
For about 3 months.
You've improved a lot.
Thanks. That's nice to hear. I've been working hard since the class started.
It shows. I'm impressed.
All right. All right, let's take a last listen. If you got all the information, good, but check your answers. If you missed any of the information, listen a 3rd time. Here's your 3rd listening.
Dialogue Module 12. I've been working hard. Listen to the dialogue, then read it with a partner.
I saw you in the speech contest.
What did you think?
You were incredible. Have you been practicing?
Yes, I've been taking a public speaking class in the evening.
How long have you been taking the class?
For about 3 months.
You've improved a lot.
Thanks. That's nice to hear. I've been working hard since the class started.
It shows. I'm impressed.
Good. All right, let's go over some of these and see how we did. Okay. All right, so if you have a textbook, you can open it to page 92, and we can look at the dialogue here. Okay. Now, question number 1, What contest was the man in? That information was given on the first line. Okay, and we know that it was a speech contest. Okay, the woman says, "I saw you in the speech contest." Okay, then his name's Carlos. He says, "What did you think?" And the woman responds, "You were incredible." Okay, so then he mentions a class that he's been taking. I've been taking a public speaking class. So the answer for number 2, what class has the man been taking? A public speaking class. Okay, so how to speak in front of a group of people. Okay. Number 3, how long has he been taking it? How long has he been taking the class? Well, Kristen asks the same question. How long have you been taking the class? And he answers, for about 3 months. Okay, so not 4 months, but for about 3 months. Okay, so the length of time that he took the class has been 3 months. Okay, so he started the class 3 months ago. Okay, we know he's still enrolled in the class because he is taking the class. He's enrolled in the class now. Okay, he's not in class right now, but he is enrolled these days, and he's taking the class these days. Okay. Number 4, has the man improved? Apparently, the answer is yes. Okay, the woman says, "You've improved a lot." Okay, and what does Carlos say?
That's nice to hear.
That's nice to hear. Okay, so he sounds very excited about the positive feedback from his friend. Okay, all right. So those are the answers to these comprehension questions. I think probably you figured out a lot of these answers just by listening a couple of times. Now, the information that we're looking for means that you have some kind of understanding of this grammar, and I highlighted this in the explanation. We see these words in questions 2 and 3, taking. Okay, now we know from studying the present continuous tense, we use these INGs to talk about things that are happening now. Okay, so someone says to you, "What are you doing?" You could say, "I'm studying English. I'm listening to my video lecture." Okay, I'm studying English 2. Okay, or I'm sitting at my desk. Okay, these are things that are happening now. Okay, now again, this man is taking a class. Okay, he's not inside the classroom right now, but these days, 요즘은, he is taking a class. He is enrolled in the class. Okay, and we know if he's taking the class now, he must have started before. Okay, so number 3, how long has he been taking it? For about 3 months. So 3 months earlier, 3 months ago, he started taking the class. Okay, he started the class. He is still enrolled. He's still taking the class. It continues from the past, okay, into right up to the present. Okay, you can see examples of that, and we can see that in the grammar on the top of page 93. With the contrast of what we studied last week on Unit 11, okay, and what we're studying today, we can see that explained out here. Last week we talked about the present perfect. Okay, things you have done in the past. I don't know when they are, but they've started in the past, and often they're completed. In some cases, they continue on. So look at this example here. I've read that book. I enjoyed it. Okay, so we know that that person read that book sometime in the past. I don't know if it was last week or 10 years ago, but some point in the past, that person or the speaker read the book. Okay? She has painted the kitchen. It looks nice. Okay? So I don't know when she did it. It sounds recent. Okay? But it's sometime in the past. I don't know when. Or this one, they have traveled abroad. They visited many countries, or they have visited many countries. Okay? So this may have happened many times in the past. Okay? So they're talking about general activities that are done, complete, finished. Okay? You can see these same sentences over here. They're still going on. I've been reading that book. I have 20 pages left. Don't tell me the ending. Okay, so that's something he's doing right now. He's not finished it, so you have to let this person finish. She's been painting the kitchen. She's taking a short break. So this is good. This is something she's doing right now. Right now, she's taking a short break. She has been painting the kitchen, okay, for some time. So it's an ongoing activity. It has started in the past. These days, she's still painting, and in the future, she will finish. Okay, so she's not finished yet, but she will finish. Okay, just like in this one, he will finish the book. They've been traveling abroad. They'll come home next week. Right, so, okay, so it's something that's going on. Okay. Now, of course, in the present perfect, you can continue. If you use this language, this grammar, to talk about continuation. Okay. Notice the difference. I've lived here for 20 years. I've been living here for 20 years. Pretty much communicating the same thing. And this is very common among native speakers to use either one in discussion. So talking about something that started in the past and is finished, we would use the present perfect. Okay, something that is an action that is kind of going on right now, and it's something you're doing generally these days. You're still doing it. You would use this present perfect progressive or present perfect continuous. But for something that's generally happened, okay, for living or working, okay, we would use either one of these. Okay, this one here, it has rained since we arrived. I think this would be a much more common grammar. We'd probably use this one and not this one. It's not incorrect. Just to me, it sounds unusual. So again, if this is something that's happening right now, raining. But again, general verbs that are long-lasting, ongoing, work, living, studying, you could use probably either grammar. Okay, we'll see about that. Okay. So that is an explanation of to the bottom of page 93, and just look at some of the language used here. So in this example, you're going to construct sentences with a partner. Okay. In each of these, you have a subject: you, Rose, Jeff, you, okay, Jim and Pam. That's two people, and Ed. Okay. You can ask questions about these people. And the question is, what have you been doing lately? Okay. As the subjects change, you can change not just the subject, but the auxiliary verb have. Okay. The verb is given here: work, sing, study, help, look, and exercise. Okay. Now, in each of these, it looks like that the auxiliary verb does not change. Okay. Notice that. It might change in the question, but not in the answer. Okay? But the verb is given here and the object. So it's kind of a substitution drill, but it's good practice. So I want you to do this with your partner, or if you're studying alone, you can read both A and B, and create the sentence and give the answer. first one is done for you. So you can do the second, third, and straight through to the end. Okay, do that, and when you're finished, we will review. All right, number one was done for you. Let's see how you did for the other groups. Okay, next one. What has Rose been doing lately? She has been singing in a band. Next. What has Jeff been doing lately? Okay. He has been studying for exams. So he has been studying for exams. Next one. What have you been doing lately? I have been helping my father. Okay. What about Jim and Pam? What have Jim and Pam been doing lately? They have been looking for a new apartment. And finally, what has Ed been doing? He has been exercising at the gym. Okay, so just notice that here you do have to change the subject and the verb in the answer. Okay? Even though it seems to be not highlighted, if this subject and verb changes in the question, you have to change it in the answer. Okay, so what has Rose been doing lately? She has been working part-time. She has been singing in a band. What has Jeff been doing lately? He has been studying for exams. Okay, good. All right, that finishes Unit 12, Lecture 1. Let's continue in the next lecture. We'll be doing some more speaking, and we'll be practicing the present perfect progressive tense. All right, I'll see you in the second lecture.